Good morning and welcome to another edition of Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swinson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A little later on in the program, we will talk National 4-H Week. It is starting on Sunday, National 4-H Week. Ashley Horgen is Winneshiek County Youth Coordinator for 4-H. She'll tell us all about 4-H and the events that will be taking place next week for National 4-H Week. Big weekend coming up in the area. It's the 26th annual Northeast Iowa Artist Studio Tour, and Glen Ellickson, him and his wife Darla, one of the founders of the tours, they will begin their second quarter century of this event, the 26th annual event coming up this weekend, and Glen will tell us all about that here in the not too distant future. But some important information regarding Medicare will be provided at WinMed next week. And Jim Sims is with the Senior Health Insurance Information Program at WinMed, and he will tell us about the Welcome to Medicare seminar, which will take place on Tuesday of next week, and a registration deadline is tomorrow. Jim Sims will be our leadoff batter on the Our Town program. It's brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust, and you're listening to it on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. Coming up next week at WinMed in Decorah is a Welcome to Medicare seminar, and here to discuss that seminar is Jim Sims with the SHIIP program in Decorah. And Jim, tell us about the seminar itself. What type of information will be provided next Tuesday night, and who should attend an event like this?
Well, this event, Darren, is for anyone turning 65 or contemplating going on Medicare. They may have questions for themselves or questions for a relative. We'll be covering Medicare Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D for drug plans.
And how much information is there that people maybe assume they know about Medicare, but need some more clarification on?
Well, they need to realize, number one, if they have an employer HSA account, they need to stop that when they turn 65, or it could end up a penalty down the road if they sign up for Medicare later and keep contributing to that plan.
And related to Medicare itself, you mentioned Part A, Part B, Part D. Can you explain the differences between Medicare Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D, etc.?
So in general terms, Part A is hospital. So anytime you're inpatient in hospital, that is paid for with Part A. Your cost for that is zero because you've been paying that through your Social Security deductions all your working life. Part B is doctor and related services. This year, the cost of that is $164.90. We haven't heard the cost for next year yet. Part C is Medicare Advantage. It's a different way of getting your Medicare. And then Part D is for the drug plan.
And obviously, there's a lot of fraud out there, and there's a lot of scammers out there that probably present some information, especially to those in this age group that sometimes can be taken advantage of. Will you discuss how to avoid some of those situations as part of this seminar?
Definitely. Best is if you don't recognize the number, just don't pick up the phone. If it's an important and it's for you, they'll leave a voicemail. Someone may call and say, we're from Medicare or we're from your Medicare equipment provider. You have this coming free to you. Let's just confirm your Medicare number and your birth date. There's a problem. So definitely don't want to get in that situation.
And good advice for a lot of things in life, not just the healthcare end of things. And from what I understand, there's a registration deadline for next Tuesday's event. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, for Friday of this week.
And how do people register?
I can just call the SHIIP office here at WinMed It's 563-387-3036. And that'll be answered by Carla Bakken. If she happens to be out of the office, she can just leave a voicemail.
And the seminar coming up next Tuesday from 6 until 8. Jim, anything we're missing? Anything else you want to pass on regarding this important event?
It goes pretty quickly. We have a lot of handouts. We have plenty of time for questions and answers. And also then we'll have an opportunity to set up a face-to-face one-on-one appointment at a future date.
All right, Jim, we appreciate you taking the time to tell us about the Welcome to Medicare seminar next week. Thank you and everyone at SHIIP and at WinMed for what they do to provide this assistance and help out those needing more information. Again, thanks for the time, Jim.
Also like to remind everyone that open enrollment for Medicare drug plans is coming up October 15th until December 7th. So we're already taking appointments for that.
All right, another good reminder, Jim Sims from SHIIP at WinMed in Decorah, as we're trying to get used to the new name there. The Welcome to Medicare seminar taking place next week, Tuesday night from 6 until 8. Get a hold of the SHIIP office to register by tomorrow. Coming up this weekend is the 26th annual Northeast Iowa Artist Studio Tour, and here to discuss it, Mr. Glen Ellickson, and I always like giving Glen an opportunity at least once a year to have a conversation with his favorite former co-worker, myself, of course, but I digress. Moving on from that end of things, Glen, you're starting your second quarter century of this event. Wow. What's made it last this long?
Well, I think, first of all, the quality art. Darla and I knew when we started this 26 years ago that we had a pretty high concentration of national caliber artists living in this area. So I think that's been a real good thing. I think the educational aspect of it, where people get to see how the art is made, where it's made, see the tools that the people are using in doing it, I think that gives more of an appreciation for art. And our best form of advertising, outside of KDC radio, of course, when you were there, is word of mouth. The people that are on the tour, it's a free event. You drive around to the studios you want to. You take your time. You look at the countryside while you're going. And people are just having a great time, and they tell friends and come back the next year with a few new people. So that's kind of what's kept it going.
Does it still kind of wow you, the talent that we have in our neck of the woods?
Oh, well, yes, I guess I've gotten over that. Darla's been in the art fair business for 42 years, 43 years. And I've seen, some of the best artists in the Midwest and some of the best artists in the nation. And we've got the people that are right there, the Kittlesons in Claremont. They're internationally known for their kaleidoscopes. Dean Schwartz has pieces in museums around the world. So yeah, I guess I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised because we've just got such a good quality group of artists in this area.
And looking at your paraphernalia here, 38 artists in 28 locations, and surmise like where those 28 locations are relatively in our neck of the woods.
Well, Decorah's got a pretty good group. There's I don't even know how many, 4, 5, 6 are in the Decorah. So a lot of people will start in town. Lansing, we have 5 artists in Lansing. So, man, get over and drive along the river and look at the beautiful leaves and visit that. Up here by the Highlandville Saptry area, we have about 5, 6 artists in this area. So we do have some, groups, shall we say, that it's easy to get from studio to studio in a pretty short time. But don't forget the ones that might be out there kind of outlying a little bit, because you never know what kind of gem you're going to find when you take that drive down the little gravel road in the country.
Where can people get a map of the locations to go to this weekend?
Well, the easiest way is to go to our website, iowaarttour.com. You have a map that you can print. And this year, Darla informs me that we have a Google map right in the front page that you can click on, and you'll have a Google map that'll show you where studios are. So and that also you'll be able to see the artists, you can kind of pick where you want to go. But if you would get one of those maps and go to the first artist that you want to see, all the artists have our official tour brochures. And the brochure has a foldable map inside that you can follow. It has all the artists. It actually has lodging and dining lets you know where you can go to eat if you're in different places and that. So I would say go to the website first, iowaarttour.com, and then go ahead and pick up an official brochure. And not only at the artists, but the Decorah Chamber of Commerce, different hotels and restaurants in the area, they also have our brochures.
And what are the dates and the hours of the tour this weekend?
It's coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 5, all 3 days. It's a free event. And like I say, you can do as much of it or as little of it as you want, so pick the studios you want to go to and have a great drive.
And anything we're missing, Glenn, anything else you want to pass on about the second quarter century you're starting of this event this weekend?
Well, from its humble beginnings, we've turned it into one of the better tourist attractions. And it's not just the Decorah event, it's all of Northeast Iowa. And Darla and I are very proud of what we've created and continue to run. And I would be remiss if not thanking you and the radio stations, LME Communications. There's some other ones out there too, for the continued support that you've given us. So thank you.
Well, and we appreciate you taking the time, Glenn. By the way, Darla tells me you got to clean the studio after this interview, so keep that in mind.
I got to bring out the tall. Yeah, I got to bring out the tall step ladder to clean the glass up in the tops of the walls. So you're exactly right.
All right, Glenn, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate you and Darla and all the hard work you put on with this event coming up this weekend. Have a great weekend and a great Northeast Iowa Studio Artist Tour, 26th annual event, second quarter century beginning. It's going to get off to a great start this weekend. Thanks for the time.
Oh, you betcha. Thank you, Darren.
Glen Ellickson with the Northeast Iowa Studio Artist Tour, the 26th annual event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Check it out at iowaarttour.com. Next week is National 4-H Week, and the Winneshiek County 4-H members will be celebrating with various events going on next week. And here to talk about 4-H is Ashley Horgen. She is the Winneshiek County Youth Coordinator for 4-H. And Ashley, I'll start out with a general question. What is 4-H?
Yeah, great question, Darren. Thanks so much for having me. 4-H is a program for youth in kindergarten through 12th grade. We have different events throughout the year. A lot of people know it. You get to be involved with the Winneshiek County Fair, but there's a lot of educational components involved with 4-H. We actually have 4 or 5 program areas that we kind of focus on, and our project areas fall within these areas. So our 5 program areas are ag and natural resources, healthy living, STEM, also known as science, technology, engineering, and math, leadership and civic engagement, and communication in the arts.
And how many young people in Winneshiek County are involved in 4-H?
Yeah, great question. So we currently have around 250 4th through 12th graders, around 70 of the K through 3 youth, and over 40 volunteers. So we have a very popular 4-H program here in Winneshiek County.
And what is the value of joining 4-H?
Yeah, so youth can learn a lot of different skills. Those might include leadership. We do different leadership events. Our 9th through 12th graders, they can be involved in our 4-H County Council. So that is a leadership group where they help at different countywide events. They help with the planning aspect. They get to meet youth from other schools. So we have youth in our county council. Currently, we have some youth from Postville, Southwind, and Decorah. So they get to intermingle and meet some other youth from other schools, and they get some leadership skills out of that opportunity as well. We do fundraising events, community service in our community. Recently, our clubs have done work at the Pine Bluff 4-H camp. They have done painting of cabins. There's been tree planting. There's clubs that work with local nursing homes. Sometimes we do military mail. Adoptive family is a big one in the winter months. We have a lot of clubs involved with that program to help provide Christmas presents for those that need a little assistance. So yeah, those are some of the opportunities involved with 4-H. It's a great way to explore different career options. Youth get to pick project areas that they're interested in, and they can kind of dive into those areas to learn a little bit more and learn more about a potential career. So lots of opportunities in 4-H.
And seemingly it's a all-encompassing organization because most people equate 4-H to the ag end of things, which is definitely an important part of what you do. But there's so much more than that. And
Correct.
For people on the outside looking in, are they maybe surprised when they find out how much 4-H can do for young people?
I think so, yes. A lot of people kind of think, oh, I have to live on a farm or have animals to be involved with 4-H. Well, that's certainly a component. You don't have to be. It's definitely not a requirement. You can get more involved in the leadership and community service aspect of 4-H, or you can dive into different project areas that aren't necessarily related to animals that could include like food and nutrition, photography, visual arts, robotics, mechanics. Really, if you have an interest, you can find a project area it relates to in 4-H and really dive into that topic. So 4-H really is for everyone.
You bet. How can young people get involved in 4-H, and how can adults get involved in volunteering for 4-H?
Yeah, so they're welcome to reach out to our office, the Winneshiek County Extension Office. You're welcome to call or email us or stop in. We love visitors, so reach out to us and we can help find a good fit for you, find a good 4-H club to get involved with, or find a volunteer opportunity to get you involved.
And next week is 4-H week, and the Winneshiek County 4-H going to be awfully busy next week. Tell us about some of the events you got planned.
Yeah, we do have a busy week next week. Our senior county council group will be busy. They'll be helping with 4th grade classroom visits. We will be live on KVIK on Wednesday morning at 7:30, so you can tune into that. We also will be doing a clover scavenger hunt, so you can tune into our Winneshiek County 4-H Facebook page. We'll be posting clues in the morning of where the clover was hidden, and then you can exchange that clover in for a prize here at our office. And then we are trying something new this year. We're doing a kickoff carnival. That will be this Sunday, October 1st at Lake Meyer Campground at their shelter near the campground. That will be held from 1 to 4. And this is for current 4-H members, people interested in 4-H, past 4-H members. Really, anyone is invited. It's the first time for this event, so we're excited to see some new faces and kind of see how it goes. We will have crafts and games available, as well as some snacks will be provided. So we're very excited for that event coming up this Sunday. The weather looks like it's going to be beautiful, so we hope we have a good turnout.
Anything we're missing, Ashley? Anything else you want to pass on about Winneshiek County 4-H?
It's just a great program. We'd love to have you join, and you're welcome to reach out to us to join 4-H at any time. Our enrollments are currently open for this upcoming year, so now is a great time to enroll and get started with the program.
Ashley Horgen joining us. We thank you for taking the time, Ashley, and we thank you and everybody involved with Winneshiek County 4-H for the positive impact you have on our community and the young people in our community. Thanks for taking the time, and have a great National 4-H Week next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren.
Ashley Horgen, the Winneshiek County Youth Coordinator for 4-H. Hey, thank you to our guest on the program, Jim Sims from the Senior Health Insurance Information Program at WinMed in Decorah. Welcome to Medicare Seminar coming up next Tuesday night. Deadline to register for that is tomorrow. 26th Annual Northeast Iowa Studio Artist Tour taking place this weekend. Tomorrow 10 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, and Sunday 10 to 5. Glen Ellickson, him and his wife Darla, founded that tour 26 years ago. It's still going strong, and Glenn told us all about that event, and happy to promote young people doing great things in this community, and that's definitely the 4-H end of things. Ashley Horgen is the Winneshiek County Youth Coordinator of 4-H. Carnival taking place at Lake Meyer this Sunday, and Ashley told us all about the 4-H programs in Winneshiek County and the good things that young people are doing through 4-H, and we thank her for joining us as well. Don't forget, each and every week we put these shows on YouTube. You're a busy person. Sometimes 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning gets here and says, I got other things going on. Can't be near a radio, can't be near a streaming device. We bring the shows to you on your schedule. If you're out gallivanting on YouTube, go 9-28 Our Town program. That's a great way to search it. We also put it on all of our Facebook pages for our LA Communications radio stations. We do that to stay in touch with you. our communities here at LA Communications. And don't forget to, if you're near a radio, it's 94.9, 99.1, 1240 a.m. on a Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And if you are near a streaming device, riverradiofm.com, riverradiofm.com, place to get the show live Thursday mornings at 9 o'clock. A thank you to our guest. A thank you to our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. And we thank you, that's right, you, for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.